Hi, everyone. My name is Amber. Thank you for joining me today. I'm going to talk about establishing a basic budgeting system. This is going to be the first part of a several part series on that topic specifically. Um, Growing your financial intelligence, your financial awareness, and organizing what you have going on in your finances, and also establishing goals for what you want your financial life to look like. Um, to me, I love organization and I love having money skills, and so they go together quite well. And I'm just going to share what I've learned over the last couple years and what has really helped me. Where I started was working a regular job, I would call it. I started in a kitchen and I was a line cook. And I've worked in the restaurant industry, serving and doing various, like, other, I guess, regular around the town kind of jobs. So, where I started out was I thought that I knew what was going on in my finances. I thought I was pretty good at budgeting. I always paid my bills on time. Thankfully, I made enough to where I could pay my bills, and I had a savings account, and that was really great. But then something happened where I made it to a point in life where I didn't have a cushy savings account, and it just seemed like it was really hard to build back up that savings account. And then I started kind of stressing about, well, what if I need tires, and what if I need this and that? And um, so I started really taking a serious look at my finances. And thankfully, I got introduced to a mentor that helped me out so much. She introduced a whole financial plan to me that quite honestly blew my mind. At first, it was extremely overwhelming, and I just couldn't believe like how elaborate um, the budgeting system could really get. And I have tweaked it a little bit to make it really work for me. And so now I'm really comfortable with it. And I'm sharing this video today because tomorrow is deposit day. And that may not make sense at the moment, but um, if you are someone who is an entrepreneur, you have your own business, or maybe you're a server, or maybe you work a couple different part time jobs, or maybe one part time job, and you don't really know how much you're going to get paid exactly, then this system that I'm going to share with you may work really well for you. You can start seeing your track record. You can keep track of what you typically do make, so you'll know more of what to expect and how to manage it and get ahead of the game so you're not constantly like fighting financial fires. You'll be able to like have set money in different accounts for certain things, and you'll be able to prepare for if you need new tires on your car when registration comes up, or if you want to go shopping and you can spend a whole day and actually plan for it. Um, because honestly, I don't know if you've seen this or not, but putting everything on a credit card and then hoping to pay it off soon honestly is not, I've found it to not really be a very great route. It can cause a lot of trouble. So many people struggle with credit card debt, and the interest rates are usually pretty high. So, if you're not paying them off immediately, you're paying way more long term. And I think credit cards can be very helpful for gaining credit, raising your credit score, and also in case there is an emergency and your finances are not in a stable place. However, if you think like me and your goal is to have some ease in your finances where you don't have to fight those fires and make those big unexpected payments, or purchases on a credit card, then you may want to listen along. This video, it probably won't be too long. I would like to cover a couple things though to get you a good base to get you started. And then I will be coming out with another episode of this series every week. Will be launched on Tuesdays. And so we will start here with episode 1, establishing a basic money system. Okay, so what we want to do first is create a really solid foundation. I understand that a lot of people view their finances differently. So I'm just going to tell you how I viewed my finances and what I started doing that is now working for me. And it may work really well for you. So where I started, though, was in an envelope system. It's just where I was at. So if you are someone who you're not making your bill payments on time, and or maybe you're like extremely stressed and just making them, or maybe you do make your payments and you have a little bit of money left over, but you're not really sure if there was an emergency, you'd be concerned. Maybe you're not someone that usually is an organizer, but it's always good to know what's going on in your finances, because then you can make goals and just have more peace. So what we want to do is start with understanding where you're at. And what I do recommend first is to get yourself a financial notebook. You can have just a regular notebook. You can make a binder, make it fun, keep it somewhere safe where if you have a desk, that's a great place, or wherever works for you. Have your financial notebook so you can keep track of what's going on. Of course, the bank will keep track of things if you use your bank accounts, but it's really good to have something at home on paper that you can always refer to and erase things, make changes, and things like that. And keep track. You can look back at it. A couple years down the road, it can be really fun to look back and see, wow, that's where I was, and this is where I am now. So get yourself a notebook. And the first thing you want to do next is put in your notebook what your monthly bills are. Do this from the 1st of the month to the 31st of the month, and write down where the payment is going. What is it for? Is it Wi-Fi, phone, TV? Is it a subscription? Is it a car payment, your insurance, sewage bill, all utilities, your rent, whatever you pay? Write down what it is, the date, and the exact amount to the cent. You want to know to the cent what you're paying. And then next, you're going to want to write down what do you make each month or each week or each paycheck? However you get paid, what are you typically making? And if you don't know yet, this is your first task, I'd say. What I had to do was start keeping track every day. I got a separate little notebook where every day I make money, because I'm an entrepreneur. I have my own business and I serve. So I have money coming in pretty much every day. And what I used to do was just count my money every single day, spend several minutes at my desk and figure out, okay, I have money for that bill, and then I have money for that bill, and then I have money for that bill, and I'd check it off, and then I would have to remember to take all that money to the bank whenever it needed to, before the next payment came out. And it was a back-to-back system where I was spending a lot of my brain and energy power on just paying my bills. So this is a good system. By the end of this, you may experience what I have, where it's not so draining. I don't have to think about it every day. So yeah. What I did was I started keeping track in a new notebook. Every time I made money, I wrote it down in the notebook, how much I made and where it was from, as in like who or what, and the date. And I kept track month by month. Each month was a separate page. So it may take a couple months to see what kind of your money thermostat is, where you typically land. there may be a little range, but you can start to get kind of an average. And you can see also if you're making at least what your bills are. I mean, if you pay your bills every month, then after you add up all of your bills, okay, well, I make at least that much. So that's a good start. Another thing that you'll want to do is get an estimate of how much you spend in gas or transportation each month. Do you typically go to the same places? You can figure out how much gas mileage your car typically has, or if you keep your gas receipts, which I do recommend doing that. If you don't know how much you spend on gas, just save your receipts every week and keep them in a pile, and then you'll be able to look back and see what you're typically spending on gas. And now, of course, gas prices do fluctuate, but we just need like an estimate at first, like just to get as close as possible so that you have an idea of how much you need for that in a month. And another level to this would be figure out how much you are typically spending on food each month. Do you eat out a lot? Do you go to the grocery store a lot? Do you put that on a credit card and just maybe make a payment? I understand you may be in various different situations, so we'll have to be flexible here. But I will try to put up spreadsheets to help guide you so that you can look at it and make it work for you and understand, make it make sense to you in your situation. And you can also leave comments, and I will try to answer them as best as possible. And yeah, I'll try to help in any way I can. So those are the first three things I would say to do, is identify where you're at. You need to know where you're at, and then where do you want to be? Are you not making your bills payments every month, but you want to make your bill payments every month? Do you make your bill payments every month on time, but you don't have any money extra to buy things that you want? What's your current situation? And do you want to have 2 months of bills ahead of time in your account? Do you want to have, a little safety net? Do you want to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months ahead in your bank account? What do you want to be at? Do you want to have more money on the side to actually give to people? Like if they have a birthday party or a baby shower, or if someone has a cookout and you want to bring, you want to pay for a platter or something. What do you want your money to go towards? And I recommend taking some time to actually think about that. What's your financial situation like right now? And what do you want it to be? Now, I know, honestly, most of us, I won't say most, some people are living paycheck to paycheck and they want to be millionaires. And honestly, that's great. Honestly, dream big. At this moment, I'm not going to talk about that process of getting there, I guess. But it all kind of goes together because you start your financial future with your basic organization so that it can build from there. So this is really important. Whether you're a millionaire or you make less than $100,000 a year, the more that you are in control of your finances and you know what's going on, the more you'll be able to hold and have. Maybe not keep, I don't mean keep it and save it, but I mean the more, the higher level of income you will be successfully able to manage. So your income can raise just by getting track of your finances. And not just about the money, but think about the peace of mind. Do you want more of a peace of mind in your finances where, you aren't constantly stressed? And if you have kind of peace in your finances where you're making your payments and everything, are there other goals that you maybe want to reach? It's really amazing to think, we earn money either regularly or semi-regularly, and some people live their whole life and they don't have anything to show for it. And to each their own. Everyone lives their own life. But what do you want to do? Do you want to have something to show for it? Or do you want to constantly feel like everything is out of reach for you? What I will try to share with you throughout this video series and throughout this channel is having more of a wealth mindset, having more of a prosperous mindset, and raising above your current situation, changing it for the better, doing something more, living more, having more fun, having more to explore, whatever you want to do. I mean, there's no denying that money is our current system. Money is what we use to do things with. That's our currency. That's how we eat usually, is by way of money. You buy groceries or you buy seeds if you're growing your own. But we need money right now. Maybe you don't want a large abundance of money. That's great. Maybe you do. That's great. But really, what I want to talk about is the details of how to manage your money to save you from those financial fires. Really, it's a way to dig your well before it rains. So, or build your roof before it rains so that, you're prepared for those things. So I think this is a good place to end this first video series, this first episode of the series. So get yourself a notebook, write down your monthly bills, write down your expenses, and get an idea of what you are earning each month, and start getting organized with your notebook. And then we will take it a step further in the next episode about different bank accounts or different systems, and also teaching your brain a winning mindset with money. And it is a really cool technique that helped me a lot. I actually didn't even know at the moment when I was doing it that it helped me this much. But looking back, the gratification and reward system that I was doing was teaching my brain success habits. So thank you for watching. I hope that helped. Subscribe if you want to follow along, and please give me a comment here and let me know if you enjoyed the video and maybe where you're from, where you're tuning in from. And I'd love to hear from you. Be well. Take care.